Are you experiencing some pushbacks? You're trying to manifest something, you're trying to achieve your goals and then change your identity and then stepping into this new chapter. You are literally in the process of letting your past go. You're creating this positive change, but somehow something in your reality doesn't like this new change. So even though you're trying to focus on this positivity and abundance and confidence and possibilities, but what you can find in front of your eyes is these negative comments, something from the past trying to hold you back. I've made so many different transformations and every time I experience this pushback. If you're experiencing this pushback, that means you're making a huge change. All this time you're putting effort, money and time, taking care of yourself, self-development, self-care and everything, and now you're creating the change. Because what you're doing is deconstructing your reality. That takes so much effort and as well as the side effect. So what does it mean? Imagine the one building, the big, massive building next to you, right? If you want to deconstruct this building into something that you like, if you want to change this current old building, the normal plain building, into something that you like, fancy, luxurious, or like amazing, positive, whatever, into like perfectly your design, then first you have to deconstruct this building, which takes a little bit of the effort on your end to change the colors, change perhaps the materials, to change the interior, to change like how the rooms are designed, and etc. and etc. It literally is such a huge work in the material world. Therefore, the pushback is the indication of you that you're deconstructing your reality, which means that if you are not experiencing enough pushback in your reality, then you're not making any change. Every transformation I created and I went through had pushbacks. Pushbacks from people, the things that I was told, or the environment, or physically I was so tired that I couldn't do something, but I needed to push it through. After going through this little pushback every step of the way, that I made this identity level of transformation. When your identity changes, you're no longer the same person. It's almost like iOS. I have iPhone 16 that I bought just quite recently, and obviously I have the newest iPhone, but maybe you have iPhone, I don't know, like 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, whatever. But you don't have iPhone 4, do you? If you have iPhone 4, then probably you're very, very rare. Maybe you're just like, oh, I just love this iPhone 4. But if you actually look at that technology part, then you probably left out already. So I know it sounds pretty harsh, and then a lot of people actually feel like attacked me saying this, but if you stop changing and if you stop learning, you're dead. So the best thing that we can do, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter man or woman, it doesn't matter. We have to keep learning and we have to keep changing. It's like iOS. Just because you have a new phone, that doesn't mean that you just don't update anymore. iPhone always give you update every single month or every 2 months because technology changes, philosophy changes, the surroundings changes, right? Everything is not the same compared to 50 years ago. Therefore, we are living in a completely different reality. So if you don't want to get stuck and dead in a past reality, we have to always accept the fact that everything else was changing. The energy is constantly changing. It's like a river. You never step into the same water. We are always stepping to the new water. It looks and then it seems the same, but everything actually is different. The change is very subtle, but change happens very, very quickly. Therefore, my clients are experiencing an insane transformation in a couple of days, just spending with me at the seminar. However, there's one thing that we need to know about this rapid transformation, aka the quantum leap. When you make a quantum leap, you can just 10x your income, and then you can, all of a sudden you make your dream come true and stuff like that, and you're happy. Obviously, you're more successful, you're richer, and you're happier. But what you have to understand is that it comes with a side effect. In Japanese, there's an idea called taihen. Taihen means like it's hard, it's not easy, it's like difficult, and XYZ, XYZ. So taihen is not a hentai, just so you know. The hentai is kinky stuff, but it's completely different, a different alphabet. So it's a little bit difficult. So this is a little Japanese lesson here. Taihen means big change. There's 2 alphabets in the Chinese alphabet. So taihen means big change. So what does it mean? It means things are changing massively. So if you make a big change in a worldwide or in identity level, then of course it's not easy. It seems difficult, it's exhausting. So this is the reason why you experience the pushbacks. The pushbacks are coming from your subconscious. Subconscious creates this pushback because subconscious is designed to keep you alive. So what does it mean? It means the reason why you're here alive watching this video and then, get confused which one is kinky and which one is big change is because your subconscious is working 24/7 to keep you alive. Therefore, mission accomplished. You're here healthy, happier, and trying to accomplish your goals, right? So the reason why the pushback will be there for you is because your subconscious already have these programs. Based on the neuroscience, the first 7 years is the majority of your program, right? The first 7 years of our life, we are in a theta state, which is the brain waves. The brain waves changes to beta and a theta. The theta is when you're about to go to sleep. It's the very slow wavelength, right? So you're getting sleepy, perhaps after the lunch, you're going sleepy and then you're kind of like this, and that's the theta wave. So we can't control, right? In the theta waves, it's very hard for us to control. But the first 7 years, your brain waves are always in theta. What does it mean? It means you're very suggestible. So therefore, we build identity, we construct our identity and then all these belief systems the first 7 years so that 80 to 90% of what you believe in, as well as how do you see yourself and who do you think you are in identity level, is already determined. And then it starts to create your reality from that. So that's why it's so hard to deprogram our previous beliefs that we already established in the first 7 years, because if you're 20 years old, it's been already more than 10 years. If you're 30 years old, more than 20 years. So the longer you spend, the belief gets stronger. And there's a system called belief perseverance up in your mind. So your brain automatically protects your current belief. Therefore, your belief is not changing all the time so that you're not perceiving reality differently than yesterday, right? You always see the world in pretty much the same way, right? Or see yourself in the same way most of the time, is because subconscious automatically protect your belief. So the reason why it's so hard to change is because of the belief perseverance. When we want to make a change, your subconscious automatically, no, we don't want to change because we have been looking the world in this way. We have been seeing ourselves, identifying ourselves in this way, so we cannot change it. So that's why for most of the people, it's very difficult to make a change. And what happens is subconscious will basically give you the evidence of the reason why change is dangerous. So it's not because you're lazy or not smart enough. Your subconscious automatically protecting your current belief. And then when you're trying to make a positive change, it will give you the pushback. Why the pushback? If you experience pushback most of the time, that you go back, move backwards to where you were before. And this is the most dangerous sign that you need to avoid. The people will try to convince you, or people will constantly remind you who you were before were better. It's because it's literally working the opposite energy, right? So your subconscious is showing you these words. So what's happening is your subconscious is literally changing your reality and your perception and then showing you this pushback so that it can convince you to go back and who you were before and then forget about the change. So have you ever had friends, or maybe you're going through that right now and experiencing yourself, but it almost feel like maybe I should go back, maybe I shouldn't make this change in your business as well as in your relationship or in your life. You're almost halfway making a change and then door is half open and all we need to do is just push through. But then because all of these surroundings telling you hey, you used to be better, you used to be more nicer, the new things is dangerous, don't open the door, Literally every corner you go to, there's pushbacks. And then maybe you get tired and just stop pushing the door and then you go back to exactly where you were before. So if you're going through this pushback right now, I want to be the one to tell you, cut them off. Cut all them off. Okay? If people constantly remind you that you used to be better, they're wrong, because you are working on yourself, which means you're getting better. But from the perspective of not making a change, they don't want you to be the change. They don't want you to be better. So they will create this pushback, and subconsciously you are self-sabotaging it, but you have to push it through. When you're deconstructing your reality, it's almost like you're pushing the new door. The door you're trying to push, it's very, very heavy, but it's not locked. So what we need is just push through it and cut all these noises off, okay? The people tell you that you used to be better, you used to be this and that, or who you were before were better. All these things that you're trying to leave, is in the past. And then you are going through this rapid transformation, therefore there are a lot of pushback around you. So do not allow people to remind you or convince you that you used to be better. No, you're working on yourself. You're becoming better and better and better every single day. And then some of the lower frequency cannot accept that. So cut all the noises around you and then pay attention to the right frequency trying to guide you through. Okay, and if you really pay attention to this right frequency, the future, the brightness, and then all this God's presence is literally awaiting you beyond of this door, but you have to push through it. And when you're going through these pushbacks and transformation journey, you feel like you're alone. Nobody understands you. But because your frequency is changing, then of course they can't understand you, the people around you, the people who, are holding on to who you used to be. The reason why you're still watching this video is because energy don't fucking lie. And you know it, you can feel it. So do not go back to the old frequency, because now you're literally a different frequency, higher, stronger, more abundant, more free, more peace. So don't be fooled by the old frequency as well as your system up in your mind, because your subconscious is a tool, okay? You gotta use it, not in the other way around. And your subconscious is a supercomputer. Don't be the slave of your supercomputer that you have, but you have to understand and control your mind so that you can control your reality. And cut all the noise and listen and pay attention to the new frequency that you're tuning into. When you're going through this transformation, the tunnel is always dark, but on the other side, there's always a light coming through. All right, I genuinely hope that my message is delivered to you in the perfect timing. And if you like the video, I appreciate the subscribe button, notification bells and everything so that I can help more people. All right, with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.